야, 당가 ngazo 대진이 도제 체제 가서라. 아니 쳔바스 이 쳔바스라 제와제 바다. 아니 야지 제와 이 쳔바스데 다르레네. 당고텐도 디지다데 시스음베 인스라 시스마인스.
So let's say we finished about a brief introductions of each of those three novels, which we relating to the meaning of that, the verse of paying homage.
대순자 다들이 단단데 대지시 이 침바서 고랑가서 대지시 배지 유단라고 나시 그런서 너무 변절진다 예매거든 이건 거라 대지시 다 유단라고 있잖아 송도스
we will however just begin with a bit of our discussions on the identity of those three novels.
제장하다 이시에생이 로시에생이 노시에생이 노체생이지 숨티누네라다 다 동봉가서 고대와나 보지 도대와나 보지 제샤나 아니 이시에잉에 다네 로시에도 노체 니가 마잉에 이시 코나잉에데 간데진디 군소 시절인데 아니 지타자가 나서와
So we're going to look into the a relationship, among those three novels. So we will begin with just to find out like an example of something which is just the novel of basis. Just a novel of basis, and but not the other of the other two novels, and then also to think of to consider the who can have such such a realization which is just the novel of the basis.
Today, kozo so ta je kona inge lo che do no che ni ka ma inge ani tni ha ko nge na su chilen tina di ko resro.
So if anyone of you have the come up with such an example, which is just the novel of the basis, but not any of other of those other two, the novel of the path and the exalted novel of aspects. So if you have that, you can pass it through the Facebook channel.
Yeah, there were some comments in the discussion page, but I don't have them here. But I'll ask people. I'll ask people to post.
Okay, you can post it there. So anyway, so the realization, inner realizations, within the continuums of a superior being of lesser vehicles of Lakra Sharvaka or the hearers or the solitary realizers, the realization which in the form of the wisdom realizing like a selflessness. So that so this would be the case of like the the knower of just the knower of the basis and not the other two.
Ne ta Geshe da Loshe Nika Yinla, Nonche Mayingete, Ne Karayarjana, Shonju Sembe, Shosen Pope Jene Kuzo Dominguez to Pilola Sumas. Ne te Loshe da Geshe Nika de Hores.
And if we take an example of this the wisdom realizing selflessness within the continuum of the Mahayana superior being, like the Bodhisattva, within the continuum of a Bodhisattvas, then that would be the first two knower, which is the knower of the basis and the knower of the path, but not the exalted knower of aspects.
te imbi jinse tela katsu ti ngel shi yozaga da shegen tsini to lo shegen tsini to ani sono to ko resra
so these two examples that I have just given, so why it is so, why they are, one of them is just the knower of the basis, and whereas the second example is the knower of the basis as well as the path. So why it is that, then you got to go back to the definitions of these two knowers.
ta no che do ji da ani lo she sanga yinge te sujo sena ni suji pope ge je ni kuzo do minges to pilo suji pope je ta ji se ro ot zo ni no che ore de ore lo she ore de ji she ore de ores.
So however, if we take an example of this wisdom, the directly realizing the selflessness of a person, of persons within the continuums of a Buddha, then that will become the all three knowers. That's the knower of the basis, the path, and the exalted knower of the aspects.
제가 드리제 된다 노체이나 또 달로시 그거래서 노체이나 로시 그거 가르잖아 로젤라 데비고서 대체 포파에 제제 다 대체 포파를 되어서 아니 대체 포페 제제 녜도도 다 로시 대지 로에자 아니 노체이도 이나다 로시 그거래 로시이나 노치 그거 말해서 로시 인게다 세체질 여러와 노체 수제질 모두 요 말와
So essentially, so if we look into the definitions of these three knowers, for example, with the knower of the path, so really it is the inner realizations. It is really synonymous with the inner realizations within the Mahayana superior beings. So therefore, we can therefore conclude that any realizations, inner realization within the continuum of a Buddha, then must necessarily be that the knower of the path. But of course, it is not necessary that the knower of the path, knower of the path should be necessarily be within the continuum of a Buddha, but because the superiors like bodhisattvas, can also inner realization within the superior bodhisattvas, so is a knower of the path as well.
제정하다 수지 포파이난라 니 쇼주 sembo shonse 포파이난라 케저거 저저 고지거 저저니 다 가르스나 돈이 두필 람다니 kuzu seje la supa ji chogo yo mare srwa ji sengetela ni teme tourist ne baji ko res.
So therefore if we think of these inner realizations within the continuum of a bodhisattvas or a Buddha, then we should now know that not all are necessarily be the knower of the knower of the base. So because to be a knower of the base, then it must be falls within the what do you call within the what do you call lesser vehicle, a lesser vehicle class of realizations.
Onada tani ready or tani tachron so doli tani ndo chi tani ngone pa ji rende remde tani pa yewa she tinseni tagi che tani pa jodate wa inani le kombaya boreno res ro.
So this way of making the knowing the differences between among those three knowers, that the method where you do find, you're trying to find out is to look into the specific example and then to see whether it can be one which is all three of them, or can be just one or two, or one or not the other one. So it is very good to get used to this kind of like an exercise, and which is a very if you get used to this methodology, logic of studying, you will find it very helpful.
Anda yang ji kashe an topa segro tandi la ne ta ndri ge junde wa ina so so ge seji ge nyole la ne shira pem se mundi so tandi yusi wa resrwa pena ne pongo ji ge dabi ge porono la na bu tung ka jange ge zonda una ji ne tandi yu ma se o ma resrwa ne tandi ma re ta so juna ne pe tu yo res.
And so of course, as we, engage in this studying, studying about all these kind of topics, which really the relating to the realization within advanced practitioners, and so when you do that, so we might, if we might be wondering, what is the use of learning about something that which about some quality which are too far for one to achieve. What is the point? Like almost like the if I use an example of the if there's a minister there and who simply just going through all the items of the king, all the possession of the king, and you might think, what is point for that minister for doing that? Yes.
Lord Jukapenga Lojuzote, Lord Lojuzo de Remoland using a need the new Quanya at your restaurant.
So, on the contrary, like you will find that at the end of this, like the studies, you will find that it will, and then if you refer to certain like some more the instructional, practical, manual, then it will all come you could realize that how these are all connected. Like we have in the monasteries where the monks spend years on just studying those are 5 major texts of study, and then at the end of that, after all those years, then when they go and read the Tsongkhapa's great treatise, then they could when they read that great treatise, they can see how relevant, how important, how useful that all the knowledge that they have learned, they found in those study of the major texts.
제장안에 단단히 마시 디살테지 고카오나트니 도 용그리트 이나 단 고츠수나 든다야 보시오레스 야 고트단 고츠 마소나 가서 TV 보초이나 전에니 제말 좀 봐가지고 여러 로그로 왔으라와.
So some of you might find it, and I know that there are certain topic that we are dealing with, can be very, confusing for some people. They find it very confusing, but of course, if there's other who can catch up and who do understand, and that is really wonderful. And so regardless of this, whether you really fully understand what is really going on, what we are studying here or not, but at least you should also appreciate that just by listening to these teachings and opening your mind to these kind of topics, so it has a benefit in terms of leaving the impression in one's mind.
페나야 펠드리 중으로서마 아니 주저로에 도 지시시로와 개파침보시고지. 아니 딱고 시선이 딱 로깅고 드리다 긴룩 차르들에 미그만 동에 차레스. 이내래니 기 빼샤다 디잘 네피 미그만 나지그 세워노진 동고요리 젬발 동고요 말스로와. 대지제 가르서를 깨자트 디살라니 시와 하마타와라니 고 수지 포페지제 미기 시바데 논체임바 는 캔랜딩이 든지가 는 시워레스로와 디 캔랜디비가 따드니가 캔랜디비가 폐해서그라 딴레와 노멀라니 따단다 페셨다나요 니 코시 돈노 되어나 페셨다 살기 또 동요레스네 어느 든지가 든지 요레스로지 주샤로에 도지시디 이제 라 주샤로에 도지시디 개바 주샤로에 도지시디 주샤로에 도지 개바 좀 쉬어요 what logic is when those
so there's a story of this very a learned master, Tibetan master called Chungshap Robe Dorje, who was born like a blind, and yet he was able to read all the Dhamma text, all the scriptures, and then according to his stories, that the why he was able to read Dhamma text is because because of his in his past life, that because of his faith in one of his past life, that the Buddha's the Buddha's visual eyes are he's believed that in the past life, in one of the past life, he believed that those Buddha's visual eyes are truly the like the divine eyes, with the clairvoyance, the qualities. So it is said that as a benefit, as a fruit of that, such a faith in the qualities of the Buddhas, that it was said that he was able to, despite his blind, but he was able to able to read the text.
제장안에다 몸보지가 디카스를 몸보지다 고니 그런 시와 한마씩 그러와 세라치기 잔제 법보 제치지 잔제 유시 레스는 송고요레스로와 제치지 잔제가 미셰 수지법의 미셰데 네 노지 뭐 켈랭도
이 양세도 소
초대다 고시왕 뭐다 드네 수지 법에 미신 노지 인게 켈랭이 지고 네 유시디 시디살다 시왕 뭐 다 미시데 노지 뭐 켈랭이다 개밖에도 침보지 그러하다 드네 세라치고 디 예즈치 잔들에 디샤스 와 네 디가 유시제스는 다 드니가 어느 슈나시에 요레스로
and then it is also there's also saying that the author of the main text, commentary text that that is used used in the Serache monasteries was called Jesun Choki Jansen's. It was said that he was in fact the reincarnation of that master, that blind master, and then in fact according to that is the writing of these Serache masters, so he was regarded Buddha's eye is regarded as the divine eyes.
당가 좀 제제간에 시다 이제 셰 동보다 노셰 니파도 노제 삼발라니 제와제 버레스로와 아니 때지 몰라 리니지 마셰 디카슬라 노제 동보시 로셰 니파시 디지르지 셰셰네 드니조 바 셰버레스로와 다 디시비 진제 가르레세나 지쇼기 이스로와 다 동보 제제가슬지 셰도 노셰도 드니 노제 셰고 진제 가르레세나스네 다 지쇼기 이스로와
So I will just also explain the reason explain again the reason why in the verse of paying homage, then the order in which these the three knowers are paid homage is in that the knower of the base. Knower of the base first, and then followed by the knower of the path and the exalted knower of aspect, in that order. So the knower of the base first. But in the actual the presentations of this the eight clear realizations, in this text, the ornament for clear realization, then it begins with the exalted, the knower of the aspect first, which is the main theme, in fact, of the first chapter. So I will just explain, why there's in a different order of these three knower in the main text and in the between the main text, main presentation and the verse of paying homage.
다 제제 가서 동보지 셰더니 어제노지 셰파테 네 드자노지 로뇽레지 점발라 디네니 드니서 셰션데스 네 때치 리치 가서 동보노지 셰더니 점바셰와테 드잔 레울 트와샤비체다 노질 예테 모고 셰셔나 다텐 레울 트티 레울 트와샤네 네 롤 주용 거와 틴 레울 트와샤비체다 네 노제 동보셰 제제 가서 셰동보셰 바테 드지그 로뇽레지 점발테네 셰션데스.
So the difference, the reason or the purpose behind the why we have these two different order of these three knowers, is that the order that we find in the order of the three knowers we find in the verse of paying homage. So for that, the purpose, the main purpose, for that, the main purpose of the reason that is to indicate or to indicate the order of the the subsequent like the realizations of these three novels, within within the continuums of the followers or of the trainees. So in that order of the realizations, which accord with that orders. Whereas however in the main chapter, there's an order why the text begin with the knower of the exalted knower of the aspect first. So this is to instill the motivations and the interests in the mind of the followers. So for that reason, the knower of the exalted knower of the expert, which is really like the fruit of the result, and so the result was explained first, and so with the purpose of the instilling interests and the motivations in the mind of the followers to to perceive the practice.
Penangazo katolora kalshira mujire nishe wonjidun tumugulo lol majwa ni nije chimotseni tsonga jet shetag maris tseni nije chimotseni tsonga jela she matona ne teche seshe do lo she do no jela sum shetag yo maris denza ne shewo chembi lor jela shewala shewonjidu tumugu somba jwa netan rogi ne shipa shawi shita ne ta jeje kaza she ngel she lo she
So the reason behind that the order of the three novels in the that the verse of paying homage, so which is really similar to the order of the three stages of the path, in the Lamrim presentation. So those of you who attended my Wednesday night teachings, so where just other night, so we discussed that how to without cultivating the stages of the path in common with the person of small and the middling scopes, and through that to cultivating the genuine renunciations. Then how without that, then one cannot then cultivate the realizations, cultivate the stages of the path of the great vehicle of the great stages of the path, such as cultivating, in another word, without renunciation, so you cannot cultivate bodhicittas. So it is in a similar way, same way in this the order of this, the three novels is also in terms of the how to cultivating which the order accord with the order in which we cultivate these three novels.
제가 맞았던 제제 가서라 이제 세상에 아니 수제 법하다 아니 수제 법에 그절라 요래서와 아니 랑셰생에 수제 법에 절라고 요래서 이나야 아니 제제 갔을 때 이제 세세에 니틸 세정도서와 랑셰에 존주 선발 세정도서 아니 논제세에 아니 다 수제 법을 시비 진짜 가르래스네 아니 다 드리우도 봐 지우 샤무세요 말했어와
So despite this fact that in terms of the order of of cultivating these three knowers. So you cultivate in the order of first the knower of the base, then the knower of the path, and the exalted knower of the aspect. So however, in our discussions, so we also note that the bodhisattvas and even the Buddha can also can possess these the knower of the base, and so therefore and likewise the Buddha can also possess the knower of the path. Okay, and so therefore we could also there is no reason we can also have a it is also possible that we can have a doubt, we can raise a questions here that how then in this the verse of paying homage, why the homage of the the paying homage to the knower of the base in the is only related to the hearers and not to the bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, where they could also possess that. So it is we could still raise that question.
다 조용운도 전에 다 조세정 다 노조 대책의 조세정 제정은 되게 다 조용운도 전에는 다 든지 순발해서 아니 이제시에니 디포팔 순발해서 가르쳐나 니로 로 포포노지 네 타와 되는 얘기가 그래서 그 타와 되는 예시에 있자 그 이제 정치가 리어레스 고조도 명에서 또 빌런존라 되네 네 타와 토토 대존라 되네 타와 토토요 그래서 제장가 대졸라 때문에 타와도 토토에서 네 콜시에 셔버렸어.
So although the bodhisattvas and the Buddhas can possess the base of sort of the knower of the base, and can possess and therefore can they possess the wisdom realizing selflessness of a person and so forth, and so however when we think about the main realizations of the each of the hearers and solitary realizers against the bodhisattvas, then for the hearers and solitary realizers, then they are in their path, their main realization is which is required is the selflessness of a persons, and that is with that realization can that realization alone can enable them to achieve their goal, their ultimate goal, which is the state of liberation, or the state of liberation from cyclic existence. So can achieve that. So therefore, we can say that on the basis of their the main the object to be object of meditations, the object of realizations, so that that in here, so the wisdom realizing the selflessness of the persons, so is explained or presented in the context of the hearers and solitary realizers.
다 로셰네 쇼세 포폴 조그제 가르세나 네 쇼세 봄에 드자리체스 제 대시고 그래서와 드자리체스 제 대시발라다 아니 지체스 그러다 대드발라타 아니 로셰 조지가 저니고 그래서와 제장안에 로셰대 쇼세 포폴 셰샤오레스
and so likewise if we think of the bodhisattvas, the superior bodhisattvas, their main goal or their main wishes is to fulfill the wishes of three types of beings, and then the path of knower, can fulfill fulfill their aspirations or their wishes to serve these three beings. So therefore the path of knower is therefore specifically explained or presented here, relating to the to superior bodhisattvas.
아니 다 노체데 문에 수제 호불 저게 가르잖아. 뭐 수제 호불 아니 다 친구고 와라 다 노체라데 고고 그래서 제자 안에 노체데 수제 호불이라 저거 그래서 와.
And the exalted knower of aspects, which is the omniscient, which is really the omniscient mind, which is the explained or presented in relation with the a Buddha, a superior being of Buddha, and again this is because the main activities of the Buddha is really turning the wheel of Dharma, and then what caused the Buddha to turn, what enabled the Buddha to turn the wheel of Dharma is the omniscient mind, or the knower of the aspects.
다 뒤인제데 nga 좋다. 대징이도 적인 체제데. 다 노디시 그러와 다 드린다 보지. 이걸 저거 있어와. 다 대우는 마 대진도 저거 있어.
Okay, so with this, so we will we just assume that we finish the discussion on the that section, on the homage, the verse of paying homage.
다 드린드네 밀라니 좀베 때지 질링이시 발라서와 시스템이 미래다 딩을다 때지 좀베 다 채워져 봐서도 좀베 때지 질링이시 바니여와 다 니빠트다 다 좀베 때지 질링이시 바텔라 아니 사체가요 레스와 아니 사체가테 마레네 마치 소소지 미조 이소와이나 아니 군령와 셰바 때지지 린도 템바 디엘로 제바셰바 유대 제바셰바 유대 디데 템바고 왔네 네 사제가도 딩고
so now we're going to move to the next major heading. So before that, this main heading, so we finished the first main heading, which we now finish is the expression. The actual. Body of the composer. Is the expression of homage as a means of engaging in the composition of the three tries. So we will now move to the actual body of the composed three tries. Okay, the actual body of the composed three tries. So which is elaborated under these 5 subheadings, which are the explaining the purpose and connections, and then the condensed explanation of the three tries body, and then the detailed explanation of the branches, the detailed explanation of the meaning of the scriptures, and the condensed explanation of the scriptures.
내가 저 유치물로 시디잖아요. 사제대 거네 대지고 알았다나. 사제대 대생겨 봤더니 저나 아니 배편도 열었어와.
when studying the saja, the major texts, then it's very remembering all these outlines. You will find it very useful, and because by the remembering by all these outlines, and then on the base on that, and then thinking on each outline, then we can develop or we can remember the subject matter of the text most. So I said there's the 5 subheadings for this heading, the actual body of the composed text. Okay, so the first one, explaining the purpose and connections. So relating to that, so in the root text of the the ornament for clear realizations. So there's relating to that, there's 2 verses.
Ningi tsawate machi nejo isrwa. Nomba tongche chenyalo tembendele shepako. Yechi nyuwa maite chiche donyechi. Dote temba la jone lotu dembe tongche delotana topachi shawazomi gupa yinsine. Ane tendriga ta sholoka nyindu isrwa.
So if you have the copy of the text, so the 2 verses are the verses 1.1 and 1.2. If I read, the path of an exalted knower of all aspects, explained by the teacher in this sutra, is not experienced by others, in order that those with intelligence will see the meanings. Of the sutras having an essence of 10 practices, upon having set them in mindfulness, the easy realization of them is the purpose of the compositions.
Ne ta diga tni sholoka ni tela teaching tu che gungo se go res gungo ta ti kar she go res na teaching nil pa njupi go teaching ni jeja kar re tel nju na gipa kar yo re o te she go res.
So these 2 verses, so which is falls under that heading called the explaining the purpose and the connections. So under this heading, so we'll find out the what is the purpose, what is what is the main theme or the main subject matter of these texts, the ornament for clear realizations, and the purpose of the of this text composition of the text, and then also showing that the connections or the relationships.
Ane shita ane ta techi monchewe thomala ne gunde ngonde yore esrwa ta gunde ngonde keje karsena ane ta techi nijil ma ne njubiga ne keserwa tangazo ke jete pa do ane techi nijitela jejandu ane gipandu nigundu del jun jigundu isone ne dajatela jupa shawi cheta tiso shaba shawi cheta ane itni shego yores.
So not only you find this section called explaining the purpose and connections, so which in Tibetan which is a go del ngak, okay. So go is the purpose, del means the connections, and then ngak is like the explanation or a speech. So not only here, so it is also quite commonly also find in the standard treatises. You find these sections which indicate some sort of the in brief the main subject matter, of the text, and the purpose, and then there's another say like a nyingui, which is like the purpose of purpose, and then the connections, that's between the subject matter and the purpose and everything. So, which is a kind of standard part of such, the composition of the treatise. And now the one of the reason is for composing, including this in the writing or in the composition, is to really to remove any obstacles, obstacles to the compositions, to the completion, to completing the compositions, and then of course the main reason is to show that these writings has a purpose, has a real, very specific purpose, ultimate purpose, and has a subject matter. So by giving that in a condensed way, so it will help the students or anyone who read the text, even from these lines of the purpose and the connections to be motivated to and to draw some interest in learning the text.
Ne ta teji anju pe ge te kharesena ge te kharesena ta khaje gane ta teji ne lan joye yo mares ro ndel gipa yo mares kharesena pena ne sharu sotu ji teji no jires sharu lo soya te be teji na ji no ta tin teji tel ta jo gipa chin marwa ten o jiri teji ne gipa yo mare nyong ye ne ti tni go so na ta teji la manju ke tombo te res ro.
So as I said before, these sections on the purpose and the connections, so which will help removing some obstacles to engaging, to studying these texts. So such as for example, in this text, in this section, so we will find out in that section we'll find out the theme, the subject matter of this text, and this is to show that this text is not like without any meaning, without any real meaning or in that in the writings. And for example, it's not like there's a one text treatise or one text which is called as the text which is concerning relating to knowing the like the teeth of crow, crow. Yeah, there's no crow doesn't have a teeth. So there is something like that kind of text, something which is existed, a writing, and so to overcome the similar thing, that idea that like that text, that to overcome that this text has got no meanings.
Ne ke nipa de karasena ne gupa yo resta te chitela gupa yo rete gupa te ngachi drthang mares. Pena ni ta le jabo ngol ta nabat ni sarwa ta tni lembe ta nabate lembe thashila ni ta tembe go ni ta techi no jires techi tirmul ti ta ji te jo rete ina yo machi le the yo marwas o te no jires gupa ye na ngachi drthang mares.
So to show that this text is to overcome this such a misunderstanding that this text has no meaning, no subject matter, like that text about the crow's teeth, not like that. And then if this text has got a purpose, and then the next question is, whether that the purpose can be accomplished, is it something achievable or not. And then it is saying that, of course, it is achievable, and then it is not, unachievable of the purpose like a text. There's one text which explains about how to discover the jewel which is supposedly on the crown of the Naga king. So there's a text which show how you can get that, how do you find that, and which apparently which is not something possible for us human. And so again, is showing that the purpose of this text is not like the purpose of that that second type of text.
Ni sambatela ni gyupate ngati dre nigres ina yo dre nigre te yo ni gyupa chaleo tatuba chimboji niguna wote yo mares gyupa chimbo yo mares gyupa garsang yapoji yo mares pena ngati ni ta amana ta gengo tandi namaleanda chipares ro ni gyupa teche yore te ina yo gyupa shin chimbo tandi yo mares ma pomale mi te chi jansi ma pomale mi te chi se jong pena te jang ta ta tni te chi ye sarwa ta jagal tni ye jirwa
am do ka she ha chi la yo
gengu la jirwa ta ama gengu tni re te la na ase chin di meno
and then the next thing which is also very important for the student or for the reader to take this text very seriously is that not only is that even after understanding that this text has got a meaning, has got a purpose, and then the purpose is achievable, but then how worth is that achieving that purpose? How good is achieving the purpose, and then in the formal one text scripture, there's an example of a text where they use the text which about very aged, like a aged woman, or who trying to marry, get wedded, and so whatever is it, but basically, essentially, so it is to show in this section, section on the purpose of the connections. So we will find out it's not just there's a deep, like a far-reaching purpose. So that's what is called as the nyingwe, which is the purpose of the purpose.
다 니군 뒤에 이나 니기때 떼지 걸어던 데와면 됐어. 배나 아주 다 못하도 메이 공부터 봐셔야시다. ning 마치 피그러와. 대도 집어집어라고 나이래듯이야. 다 마치 피는 이라 시우 말아와. 라도 메이 공부터 타고 말. 제장아 아니 대도 다 니기에 때 이나 떼지도 데와면 되냐 비가. 아니 드리거다.
And then finally, even if you find you find that there is this text has a purpose of the purpose or something ultimate purpose, but however, if you have to be ensured that what is written, what the content of this text is related, is connected to reach to that, to realize that purpose of the purpose. If there is no connections or there's a link to what is the explained here to achieving that, then there is no point. Like just as following some teachings where you said if you offer the if you make the sacrifice of the animals, and then you can obtain a good rebirth of human and godly being in the future. You can go to the god realms in the future, so which is the totally not connected. Is not going to, that act of killings is not going to lead one to find good rebirth. So therefore, in these sections, so we find the connections of this, all this, the purpose of the purpose, and then the subject matter and so forth.
제장하다 대지 도다나다 대지 네 군대만데 가르치고 있으나 대지 리러는 제자의 규파오의 니규의 아니 તો니 제와오의 서로 니규테 토와라 규파텐로 규파토와라 대 제자를 rollegndis the tsunzupe 제와오 요레스네 대시에 윤고레스.
So the connections, the bit is to show how to achieve the purpose of the purpose. It depends on the purpose, and then how it is connected to the purpose, and then to the subject matter. So these all are the interconnected.
제장아 다네 딱니 베인고나 마치네나 시자바이나 네 시라 페토세요 마레스라와 아니 지레일메라 시자데나 페도문데 네 제자 네 텐도데 마치셰죠 이스라와
말 이 자와데서와
단나 친데 지예와 지제요 문제가 없지.
Okay, so we'll I will explain the meaning of these two verses, focusing mainly on the main meanings, rather than trying to focus on the word by word explanations.
다 가르치는 것도 전에 다 도저 tempo 가르치티가네 이 전에 디스모텔라 네 제자 체와제 다 님바도 바제데 네다 아니 예지 롱기 대와 니엔티도 로잘라 수파도 예지 대와 치로발로 수피 뇨다가 말레스
마스
지다와지 또 말레스라
So what is saying here is that the implied in these two verses is that how the main the subject express subject matter of the perfection of the perfection of wisdom sutras. So one of the main subject matter is, for example, is these the eight realization, eight clear realizations, and then it shows here how the those who are like the hearers and soul realizers, and as well as, of course, there's some outsiders how how they are lacking, how they are incapable of understanding, or realizing the meaning of these the eight clear realizations.
제자다 루데 네 니로니가 네 뇨마타에 가르스나 니로니가 신드지피가 대화진비가 되네라 안 티소시고 말했어와 티소시가 매이자데 루젤 시위군에 네다 뇨타고 말했다 루젤 시위군에 뇨타고 말했어.
Yes. And then see the reason why the hearers and soldier realizers they don't they don't have the experience. They can't have the experience of this the realization of these eight at clear realization is because they don't the engage in like a learning, engaging learning or finding about this these realizations. So therefore, when if you don't study or if you don't learn about these realizations, then you can't contemplate, you can't meditate upon, and then if you don't meditate or contemplate on, then you won't have you can't gain the realization, and so therefore you can't have the experience of this which arise from this realization of this eight clear realizations.
Ni shiro barnaje ne nyuwa mate karesena kuzo lo lopal shude iza teto tipa shig marisrwa tipa wa machewa iza tipi yed shene nyuwa thago mares.
And then those who are outsiders, who like a non-Buddhist and who are outsider, of course, so they so all these they are on the incorrect, enter into the incorrect or the wrong path, and so therefore they they never even learn or hear about these topics, and so therefore it is out of cautions that they will have the experience of these the clear realizations.
제정안에 다시 올로티도 된바르 저거니 너희 제자 제비거니 다 야말라소베 파지쳐보대 아니 템베에도 주 아니 텔 녀석 고서 제네 아니 마구바노 진 더고 레스로와 노치 더고 레스
나 가서랑겠어
로티도 된바 더기스 로티도 된바 더기 아니 다 너희 제자 집에 다 짐발라소비 파시째 여러와 짐발라소비 파시째때 아니 뭐제바 다 롤스네 아니 tel라 녀석 고스시는 다 아니 노진 더 그거요레스로와.
So and so therefore those those bodhisattvas, only those bodhisattvas who with the intelligence, and so they within they haven't to achieve or to fulfill their aspirations to achieve the state of omniscience, state of omniscience. So with this to do that, so they they would learn, hear about the perfection, perfection of wisdom sutras, which contain the meaning of like this 10 activities. It says 10 dharma activities, and so therefore these it's saying that therefore these eight realizations, so therefore are the object of the contemplation and of the meditations of the intelligent bodhisattvas.
Tani sunza ne ta tani lo de demban ta te jungi du je che de zo ndola tene te tu ka ores ndola tene te tu ka isa ni ta pashi chala su pala te ni po jel ma ka jel ma shene ani te zo pi le lawi gune che chu gi gune ta ka le chu gune ani to wa she gi che ta ani ta te chi song gi ise ta te shi gor ta di pa
and then we find in this verse, and then how the like a targeted, student of this the ornaments, ornaments, and how they by relying on this the text, this ornament for clear realizations, and how they can then they can realize the meaning of all these the 10 topics, 10 activities, 10 Dharma activities, and the and also the without any difficulties and quickly. And so, whereas, however, it is they are able to understand the meanings, easily and quickly by depending on the ornaments. But otherwise, if they have to learn this directly from the sutra, then would be a very difficult loss.
Techilil Jejatu Kipata Nigituno Yes in the Shea Gores, Shuchineta, Doneta, Tsokanga Chasu Shejo, Yinayo, Nin the Ne Shea Patella, Tando to Dishe Umares, Roa, Gipa Meomari, Gipa Yawai, Dishe Mes, Dolatene Tumuk, thing it so, Tandelatene, Ni Lela Viguna Tutaya, no, the Gipa Chimbo Yes, and then Doto Dishet Shea Poingores.
And also in this verse, it also clearly states that this text is what is contained here, which is, even though it contains the same meaning, same subject matter as the subject matter of the sutras, like the Perfection of Wisdom sutras. But still, there is this text has no, kind of it's not a redundance, and rather it's implied here. It has a very specific purpose, even though all these are the explained is contained in these sutras, but however, by depending on this text, then you can understand, you can gain the understanding and gain the realizations easily.
That Tigolane Sachenipa Techi Lichin Doten Singitarian Gatelayo, teaching it to Jigawachena, ne Sholokanindus.
Lao.
Sholokani.
Lao.
Shera Paroshimana Singitarian.
So the
Sachenipa Techi Lichin Doten do.
No. And the okay, then the second subheading, which is the condensed explanations of the treatise body. So that as I mentioned earlier, so relating to that, so which also related to these the two verses.
Chetangata Sawachena Shera Paroshimano Nipo Jejing to Shes. No Kachenya Losine, Tene Tochi Shepani, no Kangizu Tubato. Zemoshiton Tajipa, Kiching Zushu, Chikato Teno Jes.
So, which take it glory. So that's they relate to the two verses, which is 1.1 and 1.2. No. The path of an exalted knower of all aspects explained by the teacher in these sutras is not experienced by others, in order that those with intelligence will see the meanings of these sutras, having an essence of 10 practices. Upon having set them in mindfulness, they the easy realization of them is the purpose of the compositions.
디가 셜록아니 디가 가르치고요. 그래서나 아니 티치 리 가서 니도 제시고요. 니도 제때 니도 디조시 거래서 미조시.
No. 단지 와라 싫어 버리시면 고부지 양도시로. No. Sorry. It's the next to the condensed explanation, which is the next two verses. Sorry, it's not the first two. 1.3 and 1.4, which relates to the condensed explanation of the treatise body. So, if I read, the perfection of wisdom will be thoroughly explained by way of 8 categories: exalted knower of all aspects, knower of parts, then knower of all. Completely realizing all aspects, pass to the peak, serial, momentary, thoroughly complete enlightenment, and body of attributes. Those are the 8 aspects.
제장하다 디노래 니또 제텐 도조지 때용게 이자 다처럼 저기 인지를 제시해주던데 예절에서와 되는 니또 제가니 고된다고도 대체 쇼스 있는데 소소지 소소소 로는 양바 이존에 보여레스 인기는 이 근데시 제디잖아 니 고대 보여레스와 디세나슈나
So in these 2 verses, so the text we find in brief about these 8 categories. It says 8 category, or it also means 8 clear realization. So therefore the if you have any reference, if you could refer to any reference book, and then at least to find out what are those 8 topics or 8 categories, and then find out whether just in brief about the meaning of each one of them.
제상안에 드니조진노 네 지금 미라테디살라 저노서 고야부터 그래서와 모두 시에니 단 디지퀴들 모두라테트 사마레 지퀴 네 코로나도 리리가 된다고 돼. 디스지 마지 시에다 다 있어와 아니 디디살은 집에도 열에서니 대조적이 있어.
So we'll go over this the meaning of each one of those 8 topics next week, and however before the next week teaching, so if you have a time and then do a bit of study of those, what are those 8, and then do a bit of reading on each one of them, then which will make you easier to follow the next teachings.
Okay,
so and so if you learn something from the teaching, as well as if you do a bit of your own self-study, so in that way then you can really you'll be able to build your knowledge, and then make your the time that you spend will be very useful.